welcome to Horns in the Air, a underground metal review slash showcase. On the air with me today is the Phantom Box, aka RJ, and he is a vocalist with numerous metal projects throughout the community. And I'm totally stoked to have him with me because he's going to be part of this train wreck, and at least there's one other passenger or victim along with me. So, RJ, how you doing, my man?
I'm doing great, Gabe. Thanks for having me on the show. I'm really excited to do this stuff and just listen to good music, you know?
Totally, totally. I mean, I think the community really needs a sort of outlet to, I don't know, help promote itself. The Discord servers are fantastic. Shout out to Cult of Metal for sure. They've been a huge help in terms of getting this all launched. And I know it looks lo-fi as fuck for everyone out there, but you know, that's what we're doing to get this actually going rather than just talking about stuff.
It's
So
humble beginnings, you know?
exactly, and you know, it's what you do rather than just what you say you do. And that's like even what the whole spirit of all of this is about. You know, is people actually coming together and doing metal, which is
Oh, yeah.
what it's all about, right? I don't know. I live
The
for metal.
community part's super important, too. I mean, you know, talking about just kind of how this feels like a small family almost. A lot of the bands we have lined up today, too, like I know the people who do this music, and, you know, it's cool to see, like, to have seen where they've grown from just listening to their demos months ago and, you know, a little over a year ago to where they're at now. And I think it's super cool to be able to show this stuff off here.
Me too. Me too. Me too. I think this is. Uh, I mean, we're hoping to, you know, gain a little bit of traction. It's not like, obviously, we're not looking to go like huge. We can't even get the goddamn screen to stop twitching. But, you know, like through some time and a little bit of support, I really find this to be something that could be legit. Just the same way that the servers like. Nurture so much excellent music. I mean, that's what it's about. Really, is having people come together to develop what they're actually doing. And it's, I mean, me personally, I know that I've gained so much from my project, Savage Destruction, self-plug suicide. But really, it's where you find a little bit of traction, which is hard today because everything is so big. You know, there's so many bands out there, so much competition, especially. But in the underground, you know, it's about supporting each other. So that's what we're gonna try and do. And I think it's about a little bit time to actually get going with the music here. So we're gonna start off with Slave, which is a UK group, I believe.
Band's very close to my heart, actually. I'm quite good friends with the vocalist, and I've heard. So you know, we try to go into these blind. This one's going to be a bit of an exception because I believe two of the artists we have lined up today, I actually know pretty well and have listened to all their music. So I'm a little biased coming into this one, but I think you're really going to like this, Gabe.
I think so too. I mean, I'm a little bit biased too because they're on the server a bunch, and they're great people too, from my experience. And it's tough as fuck. It's tough as fuck. So let's give it a listen here.
Yeah, just head back over to the browser window, my guy.
Yeah. Sorry about that. I'm so unprepared. It's unbelievable. But anyway,
It's fine.
are we good to go if I let this roll?
Yeah, go ahead and start whenever you're good.
All right, so here we go. Slave, what is the machine?
This is Machine.
Machine.
Fun fact, the visuals for this were done by Raze, who's also next up on the showcase, so we're going to get to hear his music too. And he's very talented.
Roar.
Totally influencing this band if you're familiar with them.
So tough when it comes in.
Yeah.
So goddamn tough. Great visual. Unrelenting. I love it. I love
I
it.
remember being like kind of a fly on the wall during the process of getting this video done, and like it took him forever to do it, but it's like you can see like all the
So
effort shine
nice.
through.
It's so
Many
nice.
hours in like dead CPU time of rendering all this stuff.
I believe it. It's gorgeous. It's totally gorgeous,
Yeah,
and the rhythm. It's tight with the rhythm. It's great. It flows so well. Great job. The production is excellent too. The mix is really nice and tight. Just punches. Like you feel the music with it.
I love the way Rich does his enunciation.
Yeah, I know. Really, he spits it. He like
Yeah,
spits it. It's so
you really
mean.
feel it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you do. It's that just hint of a pause in between the syllables that really just and fantastic solo. I'm not usually a solo guy, but fantastic. And going into the filter. Beautiful listen. Yeah,
we get like, heavy stuff.
totally. And it grooves
Okay,
too.
that's a shot.
It totally
Nice.
grooves. It's fantastic.
Groove is just the name of the game with these guys, and it's really just like the glue that holds them together. I could talk about this band for hours, to be honest with you, but I'll save that for after the video.
No, this is great, and we're gonna go back through sections of this because this is
Yeah.
it's fantastic. It was that pile of skulls.
Yeah,
It's so-
I'm gonna expose myself for being a fake fan, but there is definitely that which is gonna be the EP cover art is symbolic for one of their lines in their lyrics. I don't remember the exact one. I'm sorry, Rich. I'm a fake fan. Uh, but yeah, you mentioned the production, and I just want to give a shout out because they've recently picked up a new producer who really gets their sound. They had the groove really nailed down in the demos, but when they got this new producer, he really helped them step up to that like crushing heavy tone that kind of like inspired by bands like a lot of down tempo bands that are popular right now, like Distant and Black Tongue, to bring that in here.
Oh, totally. Well, and I'm intentionally leaving open here this little mini box for Slave's next song, "I Await," because that's featuring my
That's
man
me.
RJ,
Yeah.
and so I that's
Yes, I'm a
something.
little biased when it comes to this band, but I really do find that I think they're fantastic, and I love the sound they've carved out.
Oh, totally, totally. It kind of reminds me of Spite a little bit. They have that like I don't know, hardcore esque groove. I don't
He
like
took
calling it
Spite and slowed
hardcore
them very much
personally,
down.
but the way it punches and with it's got to be a 7 string or maybe an 8 string. I don't know these days, but the how low it is, it just punches with the bass. The bass player is fantastic too, which I believe is also the lead singer. I'm not exactly sure on that.
Yep, you're correct.
But fantastic track, fantastic video too in terms of the lyric video. Like that's a full production right there. Like
Yeah, shouts out to my man Reyes. Like I said, we've got one of his songs up next, I think.
I believe
Um,
so.
so we'll get to hear his music too.
Totally, totally. And I mean, I think these guys just are heading in the right direction. They continue to get the right people mixing them. The music is legit. It's not like a kitschy thing or something like that. Like this band, with a little bit of help, could not a little bit of help. They're there, just they just need to continue to take their steps that they're already taking, and they will be. I wouldn't be surprised if they ended up getting picked up by somebody out there, because they totally deserve to be in terms of distribution and recognition. They've got a legit product, and
Like I touched on a little bit earlier before we started getting into the video. Being like no being from a position of knowing these guys, like when I was hearing their demos starting out before they ran into this producer, like the speed at which they've like developed and gotten larger with their sound has just been phenomenal, and it's super exciting to see this, and I definitely can tell they're going places.
I agree. I agree. I mean, and it's not, it's all about, I mean, for me personally, it's just about a certain amount of recognition within the peer group, because people aren't, the mainstream's just not going to get it. And that's fine. Like, I mean, that's probably why they do it. It's why I do it. I mean, I'm not looking for the recognition of the mainstream. I'm looking for the recognition of the, dude that's got a black t-shirt on and fucking gives me the horns and fucking, the look or whatever.
Yeah.
And and this band is exactly that. Like, I feel it, and it's tough. The lyrics are mean. I want to try and go back to the section where they're like taking apart a body or something.
Yeah. If you just scroll on the bottom, you'll be able to
Let's see here.
rerun about there. There's no preview, but you're just gonna have to click around.
Well, let's see. We'll take it back just a little bit, see just wherever it lands, and
Sure.
give you a little more listen.
My man with the eyes. Also, I just want to take a quick second to shout out and say hi to everybody who showed up in chat. Thanks for tuning in live. It means a lot.
Sweet. Hello, fellas and ladies, or whichever. And yeah, we're enjoying this slate like a bunch. I mean, the vocal execution on this is fantastic. And that's not to say the guitar is doing its job. It's being a mean bastard. And I might have.
The solo here really just stands out. Like, it really pulls the song together. I love the. I just gotta say, I love the. I'm gonna pause this for just a second to talk about that solo, but I just have this soft spot in songs where you've got this like really like crushing heavy tone, and then like the solo comes out. It's just this like beacon that like stands above it for a bit before it like pulls you back in. Like Vitriol does that with some of their songs too, where it's just absolute chaos, and then for a second it just comes through in this solo that's just like simultaneously the most beautiful and ugly thing you've heard at the same time. That kind of like dissonant stuff.
It's super accurate, but that's the whole thing. This song is an entire production. It's not just like verse chorus or whatever. Like, it's a full trip, which I really dig, and that solo really adds to that whole completeness of dynamics within the songwriting. And then it goes into this nice filter part, which is the reset. So let's give this a listen.
We're getting back to the part you want to see soon, the taking apart the body.
Possibly. I think I might have.
It's a little bit after this. It's
Can it be stopped? Oh, here it is. Here it is. Oh, man. Great lyrics.
I love how well it matches up with the video too.
Totally. It's great. And the gears
It's cool to get to do
grinding.
something like this. Like, again, half of this is just gonna be me praising Grace. We haven't gotten to his song yet, but like the fact that like you can get a music video, right, more or less, because like it's a lyric video, but it feels like a music video.
Oh, I'd call this a music video. This is a music
Yeah,
video.
and
This is
considering the
beyond a
circumstances of it being like,
It's-
you know, well, one, pandemic, and two, you're a younger band, like you're not gonna get a chance to do like a real music video. But this is like, in my opinion, it's not like, I think this is cooler than watching guys just stand over and play.
Oh,
their
I agree.
instruments.
I mean, it's weird. The video thing is weird. This is the new school video. It's what it is.
Yeah.
The kids love lyric videos. I love lyric videos. I'm starting to understand, and it's fantastic. They did a really good job. That's a teamwork, and that's the thing is that's not just one man doing a thing. That's a whole team, and that's what I feel like a lot of people misunderstand on the servers. Is there's a lot of like really talented people out there, but they're expecting to sound immediately like Infinite Annihilator. And it's like, no, those dudes are like talented musicians that are going literally their hardest take by take. We're talking about just 4 bars at a time, if that, with some of their stuff. And really, people just need to like stick with their guns because they're better than they think they are. And that's a little bit to you, RJ, just because I think you're a fantastic vocalist and you just need to fucking keep on cranking. And
Well, thank you, Gabe.
and when you see a team of people, when it's not just that's the thing, is when things are good, it's a team of people coming together. It's not just one person. Like one person stuff is so hard to do, but we're about to see, some. I mean, that's how it all starts. But when you can get other people in your orbit, that's when, you really start to snowball and make impact with your music as a product in the internet age. I mean, and that's why
And
this is so good.
Along that thought of getting people in your orbit and other people, I think that's a good segue to move on to, or at least start introducing our next artist.
Oh, totally.
Oh, did I just lose?
Totally.
Okay, I thought I lost.
No.
All right.
Let's see. So we're
Yeah.
going on to Raze, I guess.
We're moving on to Raze because, well, we were just talking about him. I think
Why not?
he's not here at the moment because the dude's probably passed out. So a little bit of a background on this guy because this is I'll give another introduction here because I know this dude. What's really cool about Raze is that he like wears this influence on his sleeve of both extreme metal, like the genres we come from, right, and also like industrial.
Oh, totally. He has
that's
these
big
nice
for me.
bouncy beats. It's not. I like his style. The beats aren't your conventional metal beats within all the stuff that I've heard of his. It kind of has this like it's a groove, but it's a I don't know how to explain it. It's a different type of groove. It's like an up-tempo groove versus a down-tempo groove or something like that.
But that it's got that sort of 90s like industrial influence, definitely.
Yeah, totally. It makes you groove.
Without, yeah. I don't have you gotten a chance to hear this song before?
I think I've heard it. I think I heard it actually in pre-production, and might have been a little bit of help in the mixing of this and all that. I mean, that's on Cult of Metal. People are always up there willing to spill their guts to get better, which is like so amazing. And this guy is someone who did it, and I'm glad to be a part of the participation in. What it's become, because now it's like a full track, and I haven't seen this actual lyric video, so this will be a first for me.
Let's give this a play. This is the title track to his, well, I guess to his artist name.
Go. So it's up tempo. On that offbeat, it makes you want to jump or whatever.
And the really fast vocal flows over that.
Like a 90s mosh pit would have eaten this shit up right up. Nice cleans.
Yep.
Nice cleans.
Pretty cleans, yeah.
There he goes. Very thick guitar tone.
Bendy guitars.
Very thick guitar tone. And I love the little lady in the background.
Oh yeah, the guest here is crazy. I've heard of vocals on a few tracks and they're wild.
Super groovy. Excellent vocal performance again too. Very just spitting it and dynamic, which is super important. especially for this like type of songs.
This shit's so badass.
That's going
Yeah.
hard. Yeah,
Ever's crazy.
love it. A blast beat wouldn't hurt. That's all I'm saying. Is a little
No,
bit of
I was actually just thinking the same thing. I was like, dude, if there was just like a blast beat run during that section just now, that would have
It
been
would
so
have
crushing.
come in just right, just to give it a little extra punch, because this is kind of on the new school or new metal side of things, but it's got its
It
own.
does ride that line.
It does, which is not a bad
Got
thing. I'm
the,
not going to say that.
outro
You know,
here.
I mean, oh right,
I'll let this.
yeah, yeah.
Fantastic.
Very
Just
nice.
just crazy.
No, totally. And it's got a like Middle Eastern kind of vibe to it a little bit, you know, like or Egyptian. I don't know.
Maybe.
Dear God, I don't want to sound racist, but
Hey, you know, art is subjective.
right. But no, it's. I mean, it's got to have that Middle Eastern vibe to it a little bit with.
Well, the melodic vocal flows definitely really like give a lot of good contrast there, especially the sort of like it's funny how it feels like when you take industrial and like just like more extreme metal, they weirdly meet in the middle and you kind of get new metal, you know?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's
No,
kind of
you
the
do.
feel for the track. Yeah.
But it's its own thing. It's a 2021 track is what I
Oh,
would
absolutely.
totally
It
say.
does feel super modern.
There's nothing that I can't call it new metal because it's not hardcore. It's got this like mid-tempo groovy. It's like mid-tempo
Yeah.
power groove kind of thing, which is fantastic. And I can't put my finger on it, which is a good thing. Like I think that's part of why I'm drawn to it is because I can't just be like, oh, boom, fucking death metal, boom, fucking slam metal, boom, whatever, you know, like.
He's definitely taken the right approach, especially like for a solo artist when you have a ton of agency when it comes to writing, because you know, like since he can kind of put like he's got full control over the direction. He's instead of being like, okay, I'm gonna make this, right? Like I'm gonna make something in this sort of genre. He's just taking like I'm gonna take all the music I listen to and just try my best to put it together, you know. And you can feel that come through here. Right? It keeps you from nailing it down too much in one spot. And I think that's like how some of like the best uh, projects come through.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Like
Well, the most original stuff is stuff that is two different things that create a new thing or whatever that you can't quite put your finger on, and that's why I think this has so much potential. Like I think it's a legitimate product, and the video by its again, this is a complete song. This is not just someone throwing together just riffs or whatever. It has a purpose through it. It has an arc to it. It really does say it's a complete package, which is hard these days, especially with a lot of internet music. Is you just hear riffs. I'm guilty of it as all good God, but but that's kind of what my intention is. Whereas this has a nice breakdown, a nice bridge. It paints a complete picture to it, which I really appreciate. And again, I believe, you know, I mean, unless this is all one dude. I mean, he was in the servers looking for a little bit of help, but he did it himself, and it's a fantastic product. I got mad.
I always think it's very impressive to see these like completely solo projects. Because I personally, as someone who's just a vocalist, can't really fathom like also doing all the guitars, all the drums, and having to deal with all of that.
No, totally. I mean, that's the thing is for myself, I do as much as I can, but the product only gets better the more people that I incorporate with talent to the project or whatever, and that includes vocalists such as yourself, because I can't do that, and I don't want to fake it. I want it done right, and that's why you bring in other people that can do what you can't do. This guy seems to be able to do it all. I mean, honestly, like
That's a very rare thing.
it is. It's super rare, and it's fantastic though. And I think he just needs to keep pushing his thing and gain a little bit of following. And I know he's doing it, and he'll find people, because that's accessible. That's accessible metal right there. That's not just blast beats for 2 minutes in your face. Like I feel like more people can kind of groove into that stuff than some of the other stuff that we might get into.
So I want to bring this up because I don't know when else I'll get the chance to, but I want to shout out my man's lyric ability.
Oh yes.
He's got some of the craziest lyrics I've heard. And if you go look up his song on YouTube, he's got them in the description, and they're just, I can't even really do him justice by reading them. Just go through it. It's an experience.
Right on, right on. Well, so do you think we should move on to our next song then?
Sure, and I'm actually very excited for this one because I have no idea what this is.
This
you,
is
you told me it was Ukrainian black metal,
Yeah,
or did I get the culture
Ukrainian
wrong?
power death. I don't know. It's pretty epic, and it's uh here I got you in
Chew this
the
up.
Discord. Hold on,
I've got this song for you here.
I just sent it in Discord.
All right.
But hopefully.
So this is Desecration of Mankind, False Church, and I really don't know what to expect.
And it's
So
out of
I'm very
Ukraine.
excited.
It's a SoundCloud find. He's a fellow peer of mine on SoundCloud. Desecration of Mankind. He puts out some interesting tracks, and it's super brutal. There usually is. So let's give it a listen.
All right, hell yeah. Okay. Right off the start, I dig the Dark Funeral style, super I don't know if chromatic's the right word, but it's that very busy trem picking riff.
Totally. Well, it's unreal speed. Unreal speed.
Is this also one guy, or is this like a band?
This is one guy. I believe this is one guy, and he always.
Oh man.
Not sure if that's a real guitar or not, but that's still sick as fuck.
That sounds like a real guitar. Yeah.
It's a real guitar. That is kudos. The vocals are a little strange, but it works.
I'm
It works.
going back and forth on them. It's like I think they're really cool,
They're
but
unique.
I'm like back and forth on if it's like this. I'm trying to figure out. I'm like, is this like? I'm drawing a lot of parallels to Dark Funeral here, but there's something more like I don't know, more modern, I guess.
Yeah. Let's listen. Oh, nice little calm down breakdown again. A complete song. A complete song. I guess you just need a bridge, and that's when I start calling it a complete song.
Yeah, I like the bells a lot. This is cool. I do really love the black metal. So it's like my little side venture that I go down to listen to a lot. Like Dark Funeral and Dimmu Borgir are probably two of my favorite black metal bands, and I'm feeling both of that. Especially with that.
Oh, here we go. Sick, super sick, and yeah, it's epic black metal, but very evil sounding, which I like, and a nice little symphonic section there, which has been throughout the whole song, but the bells and stuff.
And overall, the production's good. It sounds a lot better than the resolution on the image that they used, which
Right,
looks
right.
a little squished.
No, totally, but it's a fantastic production. It's clean, and it's tight within
Cool.
itself. Like, you just gotta turn it up yourself and feel it.
So I'm guessing the song's not in English.
I don't know. I think it is probably. Usually it all is, but lyric videos aren't the easiest thing to do, and this is all about just the music here, right now.
Yeah, I'm just curious because I thought I was hearing words. I just wasn't
Let's
sure
see.
what language.
Oh,
Ooh.
ooh, nice bass there.
Okay, that's how we're gonna end it. Okay,
Outro.
I think that would have been really cool as a bridge into something else if you want to do some kind of change up because like yeah, I mean overall, let me just say that like I love the guitar. Like the riffs were
Super fast,
super sick. I
super
love the
clean.
Dark Funeral style, like trem picking, like kind of like bright, but still just like really evil sounding riffs to it. The vocals, I was like back and forth on.
I am too. I am too. I mean,
I feel like
there needs to be some lows. There just needs to be some lows to anchor it a little
I don't
bit.
know. I
Um,
think I think it's okay to have mostly highs in a song like this because like a lot of traditional black metal bands do. I think the thing that put me off it is they're very he did a lot to it. Like I can tell it sounds like it sounds a bit like he, probably doesn't like it's not as much of a dedicated vocalist, so he's like, all right, I'm just gonna do what I can to make this sound good. So he just like
I
threw a
agree.
lot of effects.
I agree.
They were flung back and forth in my right and left ear. I noticed they like pan back and forth a lot,
No,
like
that's
from one ear to another. I don't know if you were hearing that either.
I did.
Um,
I mean, he really
which
puts
was
his
it
production
was
as
weirding me out a
hard as
little.
possible to kind of make up a little bit for the lack of vocal
I think I think he
ability.
didn't
And
need
I
to.
don't
Though. I
even.
think even with what he does, like less is more. Like even if you don't think like yourself as a vocalist, you're like, I don't think this sounds the best. Like I think honestly, sometimes just even still dialing it back on the effects can just help. Like to have something more just like it's there. You know what I mean? And it's like solid. It's just part of it. Because sometimes when you do too much to a vocal, it just kind of doesn't know what to do in the song or in the mix, and so it just sounds a little weird. So I'd say like they're good, they're almost there, but there's just like that 10, 15% that's just not quite there
Well,
for
and
me.
I feel like that 10 to 15%, if you downgraded some of the quality, you know what I mean, made it a little more raw rather than clean,
Yeah, exactly.
would end up covering, not covering up, but like kind of coming together a little bit more, just like making it just that much more lo-fi.
Hmm.
Would really add actually to the style that it's going for, because it's got that like death metal clean sound to it, but it is
Yeah.
like epic black metal. And I personally love all of the themes. Personally, I love burn the churches and Satan arise and hell on earth, all that
Yeah,
stuff.
the lyrics
Just
may not be in English,
up
but I
my
could probably
alley,
guess
but
what the lyrics are. Yeah.
just it's super, it's letting out all of that nasty shit which needs to be let out,
Oh
and
yeah,
needs to be heard by the people that aren't hearing it, because whatever, it's over the top and it's beautiful and it's perfect. But I think I think it just, if it wasn't death metal clean and more black metal dirty, that's where it would survive best, or that's where it would dwell best, and probably shine there or whatever. So
you gotta get like a really fucking cheap amp to record through. You get that static noise.
right, really dirty guitar, because the guitar sound is super clean. It's super tight with the drums. Everything
Yeah.
is very in line, but because it's black metal and not death metal, and it that, yeah, I don't know. I'm repeating myself now,
Also,
but
shout outs or not shout outs, but just to touch on that bass line at the end there,
yeah.
that was super cool. And normally, if this is like all one song, I would have loved for that to like be in the middle and bridge to some kind of change up to a different style of riffage. But if you're doing this for like an EP or an album, that's a great transition to another song.
Totally, I agree. I mean, or if that was even put kind of a little bit before the end to reset it, because that's what was so great about the slave song in the beginning, is they had that really strong reset before they hit you with everything that they had. And
Yeah.
but it does work as an outro. I have no complaints about it as an outro. Just letting the bass ride and all of that. But anyway, I think we're finishing up here today.
I think so. If you're, do you have any other thoughts on this one, or do you think we've kind of
No, I think it's
exhausted
great.
that.
I think it's great. My thoughts are to go a little more lo-fi with your sound. Try and
Definitely.
find a little bit more dynamic, just a tiny bit more dynamics in your vocals. The how tight it is, use that to your advantage and become a little more loose.
Yeah.
I think that you've got a real solid product. All the other bands we listened to today were fantastic. Really good examples of what can be done today in underground music. And we're gonna
Started off
hopefully
strong.
continue to go over this stuff and hopefully promote it. And hopefully, a few of you all have tuned in and it's not totally boring and a little bit up your alley. Um, yeah, this is Horns in the Air. You got anything else to say, RJ?
No, just I'm very excited to start off the first episode and kind of mostly kept it in the family, with people who we know have been following and to help uplift them and also just like talk about what makes them good at what they do. And I'm really excited to move forward because a big emphasis on this is going to be finding and showcasing new music and stuff that Gabe and I haven't actually listened to, stuff like this, for example. So I'm very excited for that, and I'm looking forward to whatever submissions we get.
Right on, right on. And please look for our server in Discord, Horns in the Air, and you can submit your music there. We'll put a link up somewhere to access that. But yeah, Discord, Horns in the Air. And everyone, have a great afternoon, evening, morning, or night whenever you're coming in here. And we're going to call it.